Hi to all my friends and families at Anna Reynolds School. It's Mrs. Gagliardi, and I'm back with my Halloween edition of Books and Cooks. It's been a long time since I've done one. I took the summer off, but it's now time to start sharing some of my favorite stories and favorite recipes with you. So I thought I needed to start with one of my most special editions of Books and Cooks. And it's the one where I get to read to you and make a spook-tacular treat at the end. As you can see, I'm in my kitchen again, and I've decorated just a little bit to go with the theme of my story. Today's story is called Too Many Pumpkins by Linda White. It is one of my favorite stories because when I saw this title, I thought, who could ever have too many pumpkins? Because I know if I had too many pumpkins, I could carve them, I could cook them, and I could certainly make a lot of pumpkin treats. Plus, I just love pumpkins, so I never think that you could have too many. But in this story, the character, Rebecca Estelle, she actually thinks she has too many pumpkins. Let me read this to you, and when we're done, I'm going to share a pumpkin treat. Every year at springtime, Rebecca Estelle planted just enough seeds in her garden to grow vegetables for the long winter. She planted carrots and beans, tomatoes and peas, corn and rutabagas, and she grew a little bit of everything, except pumpkins, because Rebecca Estelle hated pumpkins. Do you know why? Because when she was a little girl, money had been scarce. That means they didn't have very much. So for an entire month, all she had to eat was pumpkins. She ate baked pumpkins, steamed pumpkins, boiled pumpkins, stewed pumpkins, mashed pumpkins, rotten pumpkins, breakfast pumpkins, lunch pumpkins, dinner pumpkins. Enough pumpkins. So when things finally improved and her family got a little more money to buy regular food, Rebecca Estelle decided that she would never eat pumpkins again. And she never even wanted to look at one. And she didn't until, there's the character. That's what Rebecca looks like. Until what, I wonder? Well, one autumn day, long after Rebecca Estelle's hair had turned snowy white, and she was raking up some leaves that fell from her black walnut tree with her cat Esmeralda, scattering them just as quickly, all of a sudden a pumpkin truck passed by. Oh, she heard it coming, and she knew what it was because it rumbled by at harvest time every year. She turned her back and concentrated on picking up that last fallen leaf. And she managed to ignore that truck until, what do you think happened? Do you think maybe one of the pumpkins fell off? Yup, that's what happened. Splat! An enormous pumpkin tumbled off the truck and smashed into slimy orange smithereens all over the edge of the yard. "You come back and get this pumpkin!" she yelled. But the driver just sped away. I had to take the cover of the book off so it's easier to show you pictures. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Slimy orange smithereen pieces all over that yard. "Well, I won't touch it," Rebecca Estelle insisted, getting her shovel from the barn. "And I won't look at it," she added as she shoveled dirt on top of those pumpkin pieces. "I won't even think about that pumpkin ever again." And she didn't until, there she is, getting her shovel from the barn. What do you think happened if she put like dirt on top of seeds? We all know what's about to happen. Until springtime came, when Rebecca Estelle was admiring some new sprouts that were in her garden, and she noticed her cat Esmeralda playing in some of those big green leaves growing at the edge of the yard. How curious, she thought. I don't remember planting anything there. And then she remembered that pumpkin truck and those slimy pumpkin smithereens. These are growing pumpkins, she cried in disgust. Get out of there, Esmeralda. If we don't water these plants and we ignore them, I'm sure they'll die. So she picked up her cat and she stomped inside. But when she came back a week later, she noticed they had grown. Oh, she was angry. So she tramped to the barn and she got her garden tools and she went to work on those pumpkin vines. And she cut and she dug and she dug and she cut until there was not one vine left growing. There! Now there will be no pumpkins. And she smiled and went back inside. But the next week when she was weeding the garden, she noticed that the pumpkin vines had grown back. Rebecca Estelle marched inside and she snapped shut her curtains and she said to her cat, let's just ignore them. They won't grow if we don't take care of them. So rain or shine, all spring and all summer, Rebecca Estelle never looked out her front window. She only used her back door and she never even glanced toward the vines. She just kind of stayed in her kitchen, always using that front door. And Rebecca Estelle ignored those vines so well that in time she forgot why she had stopped using her front door until it was autumn again. And she and Esmeralda went back outside to rake those leaves that fell every year from the black walnut tree. So there she is. She's going back outside. She's going to go around to the front yard to rake up the leaves. Remember now, she has not been in her front yard for the entire summer. Wait till you see what happened. Pumpkins, Rebecca Estelle shrieked. Pumpkin vines had twined under the bushes, over the bird bath, through the porch rails, and onto the rocking chair. The entire yard was a sea of plump, round pumpkins. Rebecca Estelle could no longer ignore them. She plopped down on the pumpkin nearest her, putting her hands over her face, and she said, "Oh, whatever will we do, Esmeralda? How are we going to get rid of all these pumpkins?" She thought, and her mind went back to all the pumpkins she had eaten as a little girl, when pumpkins was all her family had. Do you have a picture in your mind of what her front yard looked like? Can you imagine how many pumpkins might have grown with all those seeds that had scattered over? And remember, it probably rained in the summer, and the sun was shining. So water and sun is really all you need to grow plants. Look what her front yard looks like. Oh my goodness. I would love that if my front yard looked like that, because I love pumpkins. But Rebecca doesn't. Well, we just can't let them stay here, she said to Esmeralda. Some people might need these pumpkins, and I suppose there's folks even crazy enough who might even like these pumpkins. So she got a wheelbarrow, and she struggled to lift that first pumpkin. Well, she is a little bit old. And then the second, and then the third, and she huffed and she puffed, and she wheeled that loaded wheelbarrow down the lane. Oh, I'm just too tired to even deliver these to any friends, she grumbled, and she mopped her brow. She was sweating with her apron, and she wondered, what is she going to do next? Well, perhaps if we make them into pies, they will be much easier to deliver. You know, you can definitely bake pumpkins and take the pumpkin meat and make it into pies. And I suppose carrying pies to neighbors would be a lot easier than carrying those heavy pumpkins. So she took some inside and she went to work, and she scooped the slimy seeds out of the pumpkins, and she cut away the pumpkin shell. And after she boiled the pumpkin meat, she mixed it with eggs, milk, sugar, flour, cinnamon, nutmeg, and cloves to make some really delicious pies. And then she decided she had enough pumpkin left to make pumpkin tarts, pumpkin muffins, pumpkin cakes, pumpkin bread, pumpkin pudding, pumpkin cookies, and even pumpkin soup. Look at that. She was cooking and baking with all those pumpkins. But you know, that wasn't even all of them. Pumpkin dishes were spilling out of every cupboard and every drawer and every cubbyhole in her kitchen. And there was like a mountain of seeds in the corner. Well, that's only the first batch, Rebecca said, dusting her floury hands. Now we have to deliver them. So she put the wheelbarrow outside the kitchen door, loaded it up with some pumpkin treats, and when it was full, just the thought of pushing that wheelbarrow and delivering all those pumpkins made her tired. Ugh, let me think of something else. If only I could actually get people to come to my house and pick up the dishes themselves. Then she got a really good idea. She whirled around and she hurried back into her house for a kitchen knife. And she picked up a big knife, probably much bigger than this one. And she said, "This will get people to come." How is a pumpkin knife going to get people to come to her kitchen? Are you thinking? Are you wondering like good readers would? You have an idea? Let me see what she's about to do. Oh, I forgot to show you all the pumpkins. Look at all the treats in her kitchen. I have definitely baked that much. Do you see that pile of pumpkin seeds right there? Oh my gosh. I actually have spent a whole day baking pumpkin treats one time. I don't know if I ever made quite that many though. She took that knife. Remember that knife she said she needed? This one was going to get the people to come. And she sat in the middle of her front yard in that pumpkin patch, and she started carving pumpkins. She carved a smiling face on a nice round pumpkin, a scary snaggle-toothed, that means it's like all crickety, face on a tall thin pumpkin, and she even carved out the word boo on a short squat pumpkin. And if it's squat, it's like a little fat. She was so busy carving pumpkins that she hardly noticed how dark it was getting. And when she could no longer see, she went to the shelf on her back porch and she got a sack of candles that she used to keep for emergencies. And she said to Esmeralda, her cat, "You know, if this doesn't get people to come here, we are gonna have to deliver them ourselves." So there she is, getting her matches, getting her candles. There she was carving. I think my very favorite page is coming next. Oh, this is my favorite page. Are you ready to see all the pumpkins she carved in her front yard? Absolutely my favorite page ever. I could stare at this page forever. Are you ready? Got a picture in your mind of what it looks like? She made a pumpkin patch of jack-o'-lanterns. Here it is. Whoa, look at that. There's that one with the boo. There's that snaggle-toothed pumpkin. Well, she has a lot of snaggle-toothed pumpkins, doesn't she? I love that one with the word boo, though. There's that squat one. See, remember she said it was squat? It's like squishy. It's like a little bit fat. Don't you love that page? You should get this book, because if you do, you could stare at that page forever. And you could write a great story about it, too. Rebecca Estelle peered into the darkness for a long time because she was really hoping that maybe a lot of people from the town would notice her front yard. And she was waiting for people to come, but she didn't see anything. And still she watched until she finally saw some faint lights coming from down the road. Esmeralda, I think they're coming. Let's heat up some apple cider. Look, I'm gonna show you right here in the corner. I'll see if we can find them. Right up here, see those little lights? Those are people from the town, I think, coming to see what is going on in her front yard because they all know that she doesn't like pumpkins. I think they're walking with their flashlights. Some might even be driving with their cars. Young and old, everyone in the town came. "Rebecca Estelle, we thought you hated pumpkins," they said. but we saw your jack-o'-lanterns from the end of the road and we came to take a closer look. Oh, I was hoping you would, said Rebecca. Where did you find all these pumpkins, the people asked. And do you know what she said? She said, I came by them quite by accident. Do you know what that means? Do you remember the pumpkin truck that had the little accident that the pumpkin rolls off of it? So by saying I came by them quite by accident, she's actually saying it was not on purpose, right? Would you like some pumpkin pie? She asked her friends, because there's plenty. And she winked at Esmeralda. And everyone in the town enjoyed the pumpkin pie and the cider, and they had a super good time. And so did Rebecca Estelle. And when they were ready to go home, she made sure that each person carried out a jack-o'-lantern from the front yard, a bag of seeds from that mountain of seeds that she had in her kitchen so they could go home and roast them, and any kind of pumpkin treat that they wanted to take. Rebecca Estelle gave away every single thing that reminded her of the pumpkins she had always hated. Until, let's see, look at all the people having a great time in her kitchen. And then she's giving things away to everyone when it's time to go home. And she gave away everything. Except, let's see, the last page. All that remained was a handful, let me show you what that is. I'm going to show you in a minute, of seeds. Those handful of pumpkin seeds she tucked snugly in her pocket where they would be safe. Here's the seeds. Let's see if you could see them. Maybe if I move them this way. Let me see. Look, there it is. Those are seeds without the shells. Those are the kinds I like to eat on my salad. Those are pumpkin seeds with the shell removed. She kept just a handful of those, and she tucked them in her pocket where they would be safe for planting time next spring. Why do you think she did that? Remember how much she hated pumpkins? But I bet you now that she had so much fun and she made so many friends with the pumpkin treats that I bet she's gonna plant her own pumpkins next fall or spring, right? She's gonna plant them in the fall, right? Because then they gotta grow through the spring and the summer. I bet that's what she's gonna do. Wow, wasn't that a great book? Too many pumpkins. I'm glad she likes pumpkins now. She's more like me. Okay, so I need to tell you, I absolutely love pumpkins and I absolutely love Halloween. And I know that some of you, when you think about pumpkins, you think about things like pumpkin muffins and pumpkin pie. If you go to Carvel in Newington Center, they make delicious pumpkin ice cream. If you've never tried it, you really should. It really is delicious. But what you might not know is you don't always have to make a sweet treat out of pumpkin. You can even eat pumpkin as a vegetable. And I do make it as a vegetable to go with my Thanksgiving turkey every year. And I think next month for Thanksgiving, when I do a Books and Cooks, I'm going to show you maybe how I can actually use a pumpkin and make it more like a vegetable, like a squash. So here I have all my interesting pumpkins, but I have one real pumpkin right here. Let's see, this one. Let's move this guy over. So I want to show you something about this pumpkin. I already started to take the top off. I want to talk to you about this. This is a super great, healthy food to eat. Yes, you can use this to make delicious desserts, but it's also great as a vegetable. So when you carve this, if you ever want to use this to eat, when you get and carve this pumpkin open, let me tell you what you're going to have to do. First, you need an adult to do this because it's very dangerous because your knife can slip easily. But the first thing you want to do is take off this pumpkin skin, or what they call a pumpkin shell. So you're going to take all this off. So you're going to cut it in chunks, and then you're going to have to get a knife in there. Not you, a grown-up will have to get a knife in there, and they're going to have to peel away all that part. You do not eat this part, the pumpkin pulp, okay? You want to get that off. You're going to throw that out. The seeds, if you clean those in a colander with water and then dry them and put them on a tray with some olive oil and salt and a little bit of pepper, you could roast those in your oven and you could actually eat the seeds. Or you could cheat and you could go to the store and buy just a bag of pepitas. That's the word for pumpkin seeds, okay? And this is where they take all the shell off so that you're actually just getting the part that's on the inside, and they're super delicious. I eat them just plain, and I even put them all over my salads, okay? So this part right here, this part is called the pumpkin meat, okay? So once you get all the pulp out and all the seeds out and all the shell and the skin off, you're gonna be left with just, let me see if I show you, just this part, okay? This is the pumpkin meat. This is the part I eat with my Thanksgiving turkey, and I actually eat it in like slices. So I'm gonna show you that. The other thing you could do is take just that part and boil it in water till it gets super soft, and then you could mash it. Now, it's a lot of work to do that, but you can do it if you want to. Or you could take the easy way out and you could go to Stop and Shop or anywhere. Oop, this one's upside down. I opened the can upside down. Sorry if it's really that way, but I opened it the other way. And you just buy 100% pure pumpkin, okay? And this is what it looks like. That's that pumpkin meat, that part I showed you right here, all cooked down and mashed, okay? My suggestion, it's really super easy to just go buy a can of pumpkin. This is super healthy. This is what you would use to make your pumpkin muffins, your pumpkin pies, and anything. I can even make a pumpkin pie that you can drink. I might make that someday too. It's delicious. But anyway, this is what we're gonna use to make our Halloween pumpkin treat today. Are you ready? Okay, so you could tell I already scooped this part out because for my recipe, I needed some pumpkin guts. And to me, the guts of a pumpkin would be this part all cooked down, right? I didn't want you to have to eat the stringy pulp. So let me show you my recipe. Here it is. It's called a spook-tacular treat. And I've been teaching for like 33 years, and I can't remember how long ago it was that I went to a classroom over at E. Green, I think, and Mr. Tom Myler was teaching kindergarten at the time, and he invited me to his classroom to do this with his students. And I shared my recipe with them, and when I got back to my school in a couple of days, they sent me a poem that they wrote with using my ingredients. Do you want me to read it to you? So I'm gonna read their poem, but it has all my ingredients in it for my spooktacular treat. This is what they said to do. Scoop out the brains of a skeleton. Ooh, I'm using skeleton brains. Okay. Now dump in the guts of a big pumpkin. Okay, that's the pumpkin guts right there in the can. Blend it well. Don't mind the smell. Oh yeah, they told me it stunk when I did that, the skeleton brain with the pumpkin guts. They were like, ew. So it's a little stinky if you do this. Then we added 2 cups of powdered ghost and a pinch of dust from Frankenstein's toast. Stir the pot wider as you sprinkle up a ground-in spider. Sprinkle in a ground-up spider. Then you fold in the gooey guts of a mummy. Now doesn't that sound yummy? Stir and mix this witch's goo and say the magic word, boo! This horrible potion can't be beat because it will turn into a Halloween treat. Oh my goodness, there it is. That's the poem that was written using all my ingredients. Let's give it a try. Are you ready? I hope I have everything I need. Well, let's get my special magic box. Look, I use this every year at Halloween. Oh my gosh, look at this thing. It contains all the ingredients we need. Are we ready? All right, so it said, scoop out the brains of a skeleton. I might have to move these pumpkins. Hang on, because I need my recipe and my box. Here we go. Let's move this box. All right, a skeleton brain. All right, move. Here we go. Let's get my bowl, because I want you guys to see how to do this. All right, let's see. Can I move this down so you can all see? Here we go. We ready? Okay, I'm gonna get my ingredients. The brains of a skeleton. I'm looking in here for the skeleton brains. I found it. There it is. Oh, it's got blood on it too. Fantastic. That's exactly how you want it. A little bit bloody, not too bloody. It's kind of squishy too. Look. See, it's a little squishy. I wish you were here to touch it. It's a little cold. I think it's perfect though. All right, the brain of a skeleton. All right, we scooped it out, so in it goes. Ready? Oh, look at that. Skeleton brains. Okay, the brains of a skeleton. Now add in the guts of a pumpkin. All right, easy, right? Pumpkin guts. I told you I used the pumpkin guts that we got from the can. So I'm just thinking the guts of a pumpkin would be the meat inside that was already cooked. Are you ready? I'm just gonna add it in. Oh my God, it does smell. It stinks. Okay, goes skeleton brain and pumpkin guts. Okay, blend it well. Don't mind the smell. All right, blend it well. Here we go. Oh, I'm going to have to put in, oops, I just took out the light. Sorry about that, people. Here we go. A little bit. Here we go. Blend. Turn the light back on in a minute. All right, here we go. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties, no big deal, right? All right, here we go. Oh my gosh, look at that. Skeleton brain, pumpkin guts. Whew, it stinks. But that's what they said to do. Blend it well, don't mind the smell. All right. Add 2 cups of powdered ghost. Powdered ghost. Oh, I think this is it. 2 cups of powdered ghost. Powdered ghost. So what did they do? They just took the ghost and they dried him out into powder. All right, here we go. Oh, look, I see the powdered. Woo! Add 2 cups of powdered ghost and a pinch of dust from Frankenstein's toast. Wow, look at that toast. Holy moly, that's a big one. I guess Frankenstein would eat some big toast, wouldn't he? All right, a pinch of dust from his toast. Wow, that is some big looking toast. All right, a dust from it. Ready? I don't know. How am I going to get the dust? I guess if I go like this. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's perfect. A pinch. A pinch is just a little bit. Think that's enough? Oh, this stinks. This is disgusting. Oh my goodness gracious. Look at this. There it is. All right. Add a pinch of dust from Frankenstein's toast. Okay, now stir the pot wider as you sprinkle in a ground up spider. I'm gonna use my mixer for this. Let me stir this up. Oh gosh, this ghost might go everywhere. Be careful when you do this at home if you're able to get these, oh, see the powdered ghost? If you ever get these ingredients at home, don't turn your beater on too fast because that powdered ghost is going to go all over your kitchen. It's all over my counter. It's all over me right now, but that's okay. Is it looking good? I don't know. I'm a little bit nervous, but I gotta give this a try. Stir the pot wider as you sprinkle in a ground up spider. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Oh, I got one. I got one. I don't want that part. Yikes. All right. I'm just gonna like get a little bit of, I don't wanna grind this whole thing up. So let me see if I can just get him to shake out a little bit of, oh, I don't know. Let's see. Is there anything in this spider? Oh, there it is. I see it. Just a little bit of ground up spider. Oh, that's enough. Okay, there it is. We got a little bit of the ground up spider, not too much of it. So that's a little bit strong. All right. It says, fold in the gooey guts of a mummy. Ah, mummy guts. Okay, what do you think? Should mummy guts be like, oh, look. Oh gosh, let's see what happens when I turn this over. Oh yeah, yeah. Those are some fabulous guts. Oh my gosh, I'm loving this already. Oh, I hope it comes out good. This is interesting. All right, it says fold in. When you fold something in, you use a spatula, okay? And you just kind of like do it like this. You're not gonna use your beater now, because if you do, those mummy guts will get like watery like milk. You don't want that in your spook-tacular treat. So you're just gonna fold them in, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna keep doing it until it becomes a nice light orangey color, okay? You could have a little bit of the white mummy guts in it, but not, you could have a few chunks of white, but me, I like to get that skeleton brain and then the pumpkin guts and the dust from Frankenstein's toast and that spider, ground up spider. Oh my gosh, look how it's turning. It already starting to make me it's starting to look better. Now, you could eat this plain with a spoon, or you could serve it. You could dip anything you want into it. You could be, creative. You could do pieces of apple or fruit or whatever. But I kind of like broken bat wings, if you have them. If you don't, you can use like a cookie or a graham cracker or something like that. But each year at Halloween, I do buy a box of broken bat wings. It's one of my husband's favorite. They're a little bit chocolatey. I think I have a few to show you. It says, stir and mix this witch's goo. Oh, we forgot to say the magic word. Now say the magic word. Everybody boo. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Boo! It says, this horrible potion can't be beat because we've turned it in to a Halloween treat. Are you ready? Should I try it? I so wish you guys were here. All right, let me move this. All right, move the box for a minute. Oh, I so wish you were here to try this with me. I'm all alone. Oh, here's my broken bat wings. Ooh, what is that? I have no idea. I'm not sure I want to eat that one. Oh, look it. I have no idea what that is, but maybe some bat guts. All right, I'm going to do it, though. I'm going to take this broken bat wing, maybe a little bit of bat guts, and I'm going to dip it in. Okay, ready? Please, fingers crossed, let this be good. 1, 2, 3. It's delicious. My goodness. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. That ghost skeleton brain was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. It gave it the perfect flavor. Look at this. You know what else I could do with this? I could make pumpkin muffins, and I could use this for like frosting. I could try different types of cookies or crackers or fruits if I felt like it, and I could dip it. Okay, I guess I shouldn't double dip because I want to share this with somebody, so I'm gonna get another broken bat wing. How about, ooh, another one with a little bit of guts on it. How about that one? All right, I won't double dip. I used a new cookie, okay? Ready? Oh my God. All right, I haven't had dinner yet, so I need to stop. I'll have this for dessert. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this in a container and I'm gonna bring it to school for all the teachers on Monday. I'll go buy some extra bat wings, I guess, and I'm gonna leave it with them. I wish with all my heart that you were with me and you could try this, but here's what I want you to do. Try this at home. Now I know what you're saying, oh my gosh, Mrs. Gagliardi, I don't have those ingredients. I don't have that, skeleton brain and pinch of dust from Frankenstein's toast and all that. So what I did is I thought about other ingredients that you could actually get at the grocery store that might make this kind of the same. It's not gonna be exactly the same. It's not gonna be perfect. But I thought instead of the skeleton brain, maybe you could use some cream cheese, like a package of cream cheese. I wrote this up and I'm gonna show it to you at the end. If you don't have any powdered ghost, have your mom or dad or grandparents or whoever you live with, go and get confectioner's sugar. It's like a white powdery sugar. I think that would be kind of the same thing. Then blend that together. Then add, instead of the dust from Frankenstein's toast and that spider, use some nutmeg and cinnamon. Those are spices that are kind of that same smell. And then go buy some Cool Whip, because if you let Cool Whip thaw, it kind of has that same consistency as ghost guts. And if you use those ingredients and mix it the same way I did, your recipe will come out similar to mine. It may not be exactly the same, but it would be similar and you'd at least be able to see if you like it. So let me hold that up in case you want to try to go get those ingredients, okay? I'm gonna leave that right there in case you need to like stop your video and look at those, all right? You could make your spook-tacular dip with that. I made mine with that. And I do hope you enjoyed my story. And I do hope you give this a try. I know, go get the regular ingredients. It'll be just as good. And in the meantime, I want you to think about Halloween next week and make sure that you're super safe wherever you go and whatever you do. If you're going to a house party, make sure you keep your masks on. And I don't mean your Halloween mask. I mean the kind of mask we wear at school too, okay? And the same as if you're trick-or-treating. And try to social distance from your friends. And in the meantime, have a wonderful, happy Halloween. Until next time, don't forget to read and to cook. Happy Halloween, everyone. Bye-bye.